stop your shit. I'm the shit, just give it up. Everything is okay, even when I'm not. Time to bring it to the table.
Her ex, my close friend died. I was just his anniversary was coming up. She wanted to get out that old apartment before the anniversary came up, and there was so much confusion. And I moved a 3-bedroom apartment in one day with one truck and 3 people. Me being one of the 3 people, and obviously she helped, but it was just so much. And when we got like looking at the apartment, if it wasn't for this space, I wouldn't have took it. You know, like I need my own space. Never in my life. I've always rented rooms, slept on couches, slept in my car for a month, slept on a bench for 3 weeks, like I slept in front of my house for 2 weeks. Like I've never had a place where I was like, yo, this is my home. You know, and even though I conflict with it now a little bit because of the air. The air sometimes is thick, so I conflict with it now. It does never, and I don't feel like this is not my home. You know what I mean? Like for once in my life, 31, be like, yo, I got a home, and it's not because I pay for it. It's just how it makes me feel inside. But yo, with that, what up, everybody? It's your boy, OK. Everything is okay. And I know it's been a long hiatus, but I'm back in the building. You have an alias? You look just Roland?
Yeah.
Roland? That's awesome, yo. I'm with my man Ro, my man Nova in the building. He in the cut right now playing some DBZ, but it's cool. He here. Yeah. I love it because this is the second time like he came here. The first time he was same thing, playing video games. Can't get mad at a man because I can play video games though. Like, you ever met people that can't?
Yeah. I would just be like, damn.
Yeah, like,
I really want to play right now.
So, Ro, what up? Pleasure to meet you, my brother.
Same here, bro.
Pleasure to meet you. How you feeling?
I feel great, man. I'm excited.
Saturday.
Yeah,
We got like
Saturday.
2 more weeks till Christmas.
Yeah. Ready for the new year, man. Just being optimistic. I mean, you know, after this year, what else is there to look forward to?
Oh my God! Let's just hope shit don't get any weirder or worse, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
hate.
most of the shit is behind us.
Oh man, past that. I hope we never have to see it again. Like, I just hope we learn.
Yeah.
We learn how to be more compassionate. We learn how to take care of ourselves, our older folk.
Prioritize what is more important.
Oh,
your
yeah.
health, your family, your friends, experiences.
Like,
you know?
I feel bad for that guy that is an alcoholic and can't go to Alcoholics Anonymous right now, but the liquor store's open. We need to learn from shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, we can't have these processes fucking us up the way they've been fucking us up. And I think we've had a long ride, bro. We've had a long ride.
It's crazy because when you think about it, it's only been 6 months, but it feels like years, man.
Really? It's only been 6 months? It's been a year. I thought, no, it came in November. Didn't it come last November?
Yeah,
but it didn't. Oh, shutting down till March. You're right. Yeah. Hasn't even been a year. I thought it's been a whole year. We've been shut down.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
That's not wow.
Yeah, it's wild. And then and when you think about it, like starting with the Kobe shit, it just seemed like everything just went downhill.
Yes.
Like, that for me was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because before COVID hit in March, that was where I was just like. I was shifting in terms of my mindset where, like, what's more really important to me? Like, this is someone that I know sometimes people are like, oh, he's a celebrity. Like, you don't know him. You never met him. Like, why do you care?
No, it's
but
what
for
he
me,
did for us.
For me, it was like, dude, I saw that guy from when I was 6 until 29 years old. And more importantly, he was transitioning from his part of life where he was just an athlete to now where he's a motivator. He's creating books.
He's becoming
a
more.
Father. Just so many other things where you connected more to him as a person. And I'm just like, damn, bro, this guy had everything. Damn near a billionaire, if not a billionaire, wife, kids, get the life, everything that a man would want. And at a drop of a dime, it's taken from him, along with his daughter. And for me, it was just like, damn, dude, like I was kind of depressed because it was like, damn, man, this guy was just getting started in the prime of his life at 41, 42 years old.
And that was definitely a milestone when that happened because Corona was around.
Literally came
2 weeks, a week later?
6 weeks later,
wow.
March 11th, officially.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I was like, damn, man, like. And then having that happen, it was just like, it started to really put things into perspective for me and really look at what's more important, you know.
And what do you think that is now for you?
For me, definitely.
Besides yourself. because
yeah,
I know
of course, yeah.
'Cause-
And I'm still able to be a little selfish. I don't have kids yet. You know, I'm not
you're
married,
totally allowed to be
you know,
like.
So yeah, so I'm trying to get all that out before
I'm
I.
a stepfather. I'm selfish as fuck.
Before you have kids, man, I feel like you need to get that out of you.
You got to get that out of
It's
you.
very important. And
You gotta,
I've
you gotta
seen-
evolve.
Yeah. And for me, I'm still in that transition of trying to be where I want to be. You know, from my process of settling in one career, and now I'm like, damn, I want to go back to school. I want to do this, and going back to drive into that career, which is sports and entertainment, and putting myself in a position to obtain these interviews and obtain these jobs.
I mean that
an alignment with it.
you already like you've been here for like at least 2 hours already. We were doing work. I look forward to what we're gonna be working on. Shit's awesome.
Yeah.
You already have a couple keys to success though. Like spit your resume a little bit. Like
oh man,
you know, and it's something to be known because it's something to be housed because we're here in the same space. So it's like I don't think there's any space that can really separate people. We just put it between us. So I always let
I
people.
never wanna do that.
I always love when people have
because-
accolades and like, yo, I did this.
And I really appreciate that.
Like,
Because I feel
that
like
shit's
sometimes
awesome.
people get threatened by that when you shouldn't.
Oh,
And the reason why I say I appreciate it from you because I genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because some people get threatened by that, and you shouldn't.
No.
Because you can learn from me, and I can learn from you. I'm
Of
learning
course.
from you right now.
Like I get threatened by the dude that's like 6'4", like with big muscles, and he slapped my girl on the ass. I'm threatened.
Yeah.
I'm a little
sure. It's like, damn, now I got a battle.
Like-
I'm 5'9", 5'10",
Good
190
luck.
wet. Yeah, it's gonna be a battle.
That's a threat, but not nobody's integrity. I'd have never threatened by a person's integrity.
I'm not threatened by someone's accolades or what
That's
they've
beautiful.
done. Your lane is your lane. And the way I look at it is, yo, like I'm interested in your lane. Can I learn from you? And you are a testament of when you seek knowledge, people are willing to give it.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I learned, and I'm still learning. You know, as a graduate student and someone that just graduated grad school, and you have people that are willing to share the knowledge. You just got to put that pride down and ask. And I think that's the huge
And the
first
right
step
way
in
to
each-
ask.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I
Learn
would
people.
love to. Hey, and I think we're losing that skill because we're always behind this.
And now,
That it's
especially
just like,
quarantine.
yo, it takes two. It's just like, yo, because you have this and people are so accessible, it takes 2 seconds to message you.
Yep.
It takes 2 seconds to DM you.
Yep.
Get out of your comfort zone and be like, yo, can I team up with you? Can I get an hour of your time? Can we
Yeah,
grab
pull
coffee?
this up. See.
Can we?
You can move that around as you please.
Thank you.
There
Can we grab coffee? Can we just I just wanna
Talk,
pick your
be
brain. Can we
human.
just talk? And I think we're losing that skill because
Especially now.
we're so much behind the screen. Granted, right now we got to be quarantined. We got to be 6 feet apart. But
It sucks though that we let it go this far. We didn't take advantage. Like I say it all the time. Technology, because we use technology in such the wrong way. It's knowledge. We don't use it to our advantage to be more humble with our social abilities, communicate, ask questions, have these social gatherings where we gain knowledge. You know, back in the day when they didn't have no technology, what they had to do, they had to be like posting walls, and you had to know the committee meeting was this week, and
you were forced to use your human skills that you were blessed with.
Exactly.
Your memory. Like, dude, I remember, bro, we're all in our late 20s, early 30s. So I know you remember when you wrote down phone numbers and you remembered them like, oh,
I
you were in
still
school.
remember.
Yeah.
I still remember cell phone
like,
numbers.
You know what I mean? Like, you had to pay phone. So I had to have a piece of paper in my little wallet, whatever, you know, my
little black book.
Yeah, my little black book.
Little
Or something like that, a little
black book.
handbook.
Yep,
you know,
yep,
and
yep.
go to the 99-cent store and get a little handbook and carry those phone numbers 'cause when you had to call your dad, your mom, your aunt, whoever. And it got to a point to where, like, bro, I didn't even need that because I had 20 numbers stored in my memory. Whereas now, bro, I'd be lying to you if I told you I knew more than 3 numbers off my phone. And that's terrible because I came from knowing 20, 30 numbers. Whereas now it's like because these phones do everything for us, we're dumbing down what we're capable of. We're lessening what we're capable of when we don't realize we're better.
Yeah, we
than
don't
what
use it
truly
really.
are.
You can learn how to master an instrument now with like an app called Musican. You can learn how to master an instrument with them. You can learn a second and third language now with your phone. Yeah. You can make a freaking podcast from your phone and post. But no, people would rather be stupid, naive, bully. People would rather be backwards and argue. And the other day I had this whole conversation with myself over like Twitter. Like, I don't have a Twitter, but I thought about it. I'm like, wow.
I love Twitter.
People get mad, like they say Twitter's like the arena for people to, and I think about the whole thing about being a bird and tweet, and what do birds do in a tree when you hear them?
Free.
They go, cheep, 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 cheep. They're all talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
So what Twitter is? A whole bunch of birds talking shit to it. Cheep, 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 cheep.
I feel like I love Twitter because
You're on Twitter? What do you use it for?
Honestly, for information. And I'm a sports nut, so I retweet.
That's
I
a whole nother.
and,
You're a whole nother animal too.
Yeah. So I like to be on there for that. I don't like to feel like I have to post pictures. I have to pretend I'm something I'm not. So like that.
That's the annoying part of it.
I can get fresh, but I feel like we're prioritizing too much of the wrong things when you look at Instagram, at least. You know
What
I
you
mean?
mean?
Like,
I just bought a pair of $700 Jordans. I just can't afford my Con Ed. Let me post the Jordans, not the Con Ed bill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I literally just went a week without lights, but I got 1,000.
Every
likes.
time I'm at the store, I'm fresh.
Yeah. Like, but let me get 1,000 likes on this new flick because I got the new Balenciagas. Meanwhile, there's no lights in the crib. Like, yo, bro, like this has really screwed up people's priorities and
Absolutely.
what's really important, because on the other side of the screen, I think that you got your life together because of what you're
that's the way I'm
posting,
viewing
or what
it.
you choose to show me. Meanwhile, I'm lessening my path of what I'm doing, going to school, getting a master's. I'm doing but I'm comparing myself to this person because they're on vacation number 3 this year and they're doing this or doing that. Meanwhile, I have no clue that they're probably in negative balance.
Exactly.
That they're asking their boys or their homegirls or whatever
It's
for,
less
for
than
bread.
It's worse than check to check.
Yeah,
to check.
it's worse than check to check. Yeah, they got a negative balance, or they just, like you said, just spent $700 on a pair of Yeezys or Jordans. Meanwhile, they're eating peanut butter and jelly. They're eating peanut butter and jelly to the 15th.
You didn't finish your accolades. What do you have under your belt?
But yeah, so for me, I initially went to community college, Queensboro.
Okay.
Out of high school, because
I delivered Pepsi there.
I was taught, don't go away to school, don't get into debt, this and that, blah blah blah, settle for, community college. Meanwhile, I had the grades to do more and do better, so that I kind of blame myself. But knowledge is power. I didn't have. Do you not have a debt? I do. That's the funny part. But that's what I was getting to. Is like, if I could do it all over again, I would go. I would tell young kids and stuff like that. That's part of the reason why I became an educator, and I'll get to that. But I would say, bro, do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Because at the end of the day, we only got so much time here. That's
Absolutely.
One. 2, don't ever say what if. And that's where I'm leading to now is, so I was at community college. I was doing really bad at Queensboro because I was around too many people I knew. Ultimately, I got to a point where I was like a 2.2, 2.3 GPA. You get to below a 2.0,
I know.
you're on probation. And you're
academic probation. Yep.
So I said, I didn't come to school to not do what I got to do. And I've always been the dude that was always locked in, had good grades in high school, was an honor student, played baseball and basketball. I did my thing. So I'm like, now that I'm here, like, why am I deciding to slack off when I'm paying for this shit? Fast forward to me graduating.
You reality checked yourself?
I reality checked myself.
Good shit, bro.
So yeah, so I was able to just reflect on that and realize, what am I doing with the circle that I'm with? It's not getting me anywhere, and this is the path that I'm leading down. And eventually, I came from a family that.
You tell me who's in your room, I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah, so I ended up transferring to Queens College, and
I delivered Pepsi there too.
Yep, and I ended up transferring there in January 2012. Graduated in May 2014. And literally, at the drop of a dime, I decided to move to Miami in June of 2014.
What the hell was that about?
That was the reason why I made that decision. Now looking back on it is because I didn't dorm and I didn't leave college. I didn't leave home.
So you wanted to get away?
So I wanted to get away. Aside from the little personal issues, me and my dad clashing around that time, me growing up as a young man. You
have mom and dad together?
No, unfortunately, my parents separated when I was young. They had me at 18 and 20. But I feel like.
Me too. Mine is separated as well.
Yeah. So,
but you stayed with pops?
Yes. I ended up moving with my pops when I was like 9.
Really? You made that decision?
I made that decision.
I couldn't make that choice at 15, my brother.
It was crazy because that I made that decision because a lot of kids would be like, "What are you doing?"
That's a big deal. You know that, right?
Because I knew my father was a disciplinarian, but I didn't mind it because I knew that I was always a good kid in terms of my grades. My issue with my parents was, "Why are you always talking so much in class?" And for me, it was like, I'm getting hundreds. I'm getting A's and B's, like. But my thing was, I didn't understand until I became a teenager. Just because I'm getting my work done doesn't mean that these kids are just.
There's a place and time to be a character.
Like, I can still be the class clown. I can still be, me. But I gotta allow everybody else to catch up to me. Because I'm the first one in class when my stuff done. I'm getting high grades. I thought I could do whatever I want. It don't work that way.
Nope.
So that was always my issue with my pops, and my dad was always strict about that. Like, yo, I don't want you talking to class. I know your grades are immaculate. I don't care about that. So, so what happened with me was after I graduated from Queens College in June of 2014, May of 2014, I ended up moving in June of 2014, literally a month later. And I think a part of that was because multiple
Pops
things.
was like, go? Pops was like,
No. It's because I needed my own. I needed my own lane. I needed to create my own path, and I decided. Once again, I had a moment of reflection.
No siblings?
I got 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
And what is your where do you stand in the age?
I'm the oldest.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the pressure was there from the get go.
Did they ever make you feel like you had to stay for them?
No, not really.
They let you guys are very independent in your family?
For the most part.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for the most part. And for me, I always felt like because I was the oldest, I was, if you're the oldest or anybody's the oldest, you kind of feel like, I would say you're the trial baby, the trial and error baby.
You're gonna take all the pain.
You're gonna take all the pain. You're gonna take all the brunt of the discipline.
All the trials.
Yeah. All that shit.
Like
you're gonna get all of it.
Lisa says all the time. Her and her 18-year-old are best friends because they grew up together.
Yeah.
They learned how to coexist.
And I think that's why me and my dad are closer now. We have a better relationship.
How old were you when they separated?
My parents were 23 and 21 when they separated.
They tried.
Yeah, they tried.
They tried.
Yeah, they had another kid right before they officially ended it, which was my sister.
Really? So they had it. All right. Yeah. At least they tried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My mom lost my mom was pregnant with another baby from my father before they separated, and then he got into a taxi cab hit him, and it severed her leg. They had to put the shit back together, and she lost a baby. Wow. So I as well would have had another sibling from them two before they separated.
Wow.
It's sick.
Sorry to hear that,
yeah, my mom's been through some. She's lost like 4 kids, poor woman.
Wow.
And now she's lost my 18-year-old sister last year. Like, that's why I won't have children. I won't have children because since I've been 6, I've been seeing people die around me, and I refuse to bring something into this world knowing that it dies. It doesn't sit well with me right now as a person. Yeah. Everything dies, I know, but it's my responsibility. I'm responsible if I bring it here. Mm-hmm. If it ends with me, my bloodline, my last name, so what? Nobody ever got to die again named Serrano. I don't feel it's that bad for me.
No, I respect it.
My fault. Continue.
Yeah. So I left in June of 2014. I think a lot of that was because I wanted to find myself. I was surveilling my surroundings, like in terms of friends at my time. Yeah, man. Sometimes I'm very grateful that I'm able to do that. Sometimes I'm able to take a step back and be like, all right, what am I doing? How can I get to where I want to be? Am I where I want to be? And who's surrounding me? And I did all those things, and I'm like, okay.
You took a self-evaluation moment.
I checked myself, and I was like, all right, the people that I'm around. And it's nothing against them, but
no. Just
my boys at the time, the dudes that I was cool with, okay, they hang on the block or they do this, they do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. No. Everybody has their own lane. Mm-hmm. But for me, it was like I want more than that. So how can I challenge myself? Get the fuck out of the house, go away, leave. I didn't dorm, so remember that was another testament as to why I left. I was like, how can I still get that feeling of being on my own and growing and developing? Go to a city that I always wanted to go to. And now it's perfect timing. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I just graduated with my degree.
And Pops was a disciplinary. Is he a man that works a city job 9 to 5?
No, my dad was always pretty up until probably the last couple of years. He was always in a law firm. He was a records manager.
Real disciplinary. Well, they work for. That's awesome.
Yeah. So my dad, and my grandmother, he had a pretty good upbringing, a lot of structure as well.
Yeah, but he put in that work.
Yeah, exactly. My dad was always a hard worker, so I give him credit for that. Whereas,
as are you?
Yeah, probably even harder. And that's a testament to what I saw. And I think me leaving my mom was a gift and a curse. It was a reason why I say it was a gift because it put me around my dad, who was a disciplinarian, and I saw what hard work looked like.
Was she upset?
I think she was, because that also led to, I think, why ever since I left we never really had a great relationship. And as a young kid,
and this. What about now? You still.
Yeah. And
because you left her.
Yeah, I feel like she took a jab at that. Like, oh, my son left me. Instead of saying, you know what, since he's apart, let me build a better relationship with him. And it's cool, shit happens. And I never tried to take things personally. And I understood, like, as I grew up, that my parents had me young. They didn't really get to live out their lives. And, You know what I mean? So it stunted their growth and their mental development.
And it feels, they weren't even fully developed till 25.
Yeah. Yeah. By then I was already 7 for her. I was already 7 years old.
You had the ropes a little bit. You already knew what you was doing.
Yeah. So, and for me, having my other siblings come into the picture as my mom got married again.
Less attention for you.
Exactly. So I was like, all right. At the time, my dad, him and my stepmother were talking. It was just my stepbrother and them. And I was like, all right, nobody's there, so let me go over there. So I left with my dad, and it was great. And then my little brother came into the picture.
Okay.
My stepmom, my dad. And that was great, because I was like, oh, I got another sibling.
How was steppops to you?
We had a pretty good relationship.
Good.
My mom and my stepfather, we had a pretty good relationship. And they lasted a few more years together. I think they were married for about 6 years before they finally separated for their own little issues. But it brought me 3 more siblings, which was great. You know what I mean? And my youngest brother is a carbon copy of me, if not better.
But he's 2.0 though.
Yeah, literally 2 days apart. My birthday.
Oh, really?
Kid is awesome, man.
What's your sign?
He's in Cornell. He's a Virgo. I'm born August 30th. He's born September 1st. Kid's
Nice,
in Cornell.
nice.
Traveling the world, studying abroad. I mean, like he's doing everything that I should have done at 19, 20.
But that's because you did it though.
Yeah.
That's because you did it. You took your lessons.
And
you guys are tight knit.
We're pretty close.
That's
We're
awesome.
pretty close, and I'm fortunate for that. I hope that eventually my siblings on my mom's side, we get a little bit closer, because there's been a little distance because me and my mom's relationship is not there. So I'm hoping.
Oh, so that relationship almost holds key to unlocking like the rest of the locks with everybody else. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
I could definitely see that. See, and I would question too, like what exactly is needed to satisfy a hungry heart? Because that's what that comes down to. At the end of the day, that's a hunger in a heart that it's a void. I have that void off of somebody that is dead. People that are dead, I have that void. Now, you both are both kicking and living. This is a void that I know you understand should not be there. But I'm more than sure with time, she'll understand it's null and void. It should cancel itself out with time, no?
I would hope.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, all I could do is hope, because eventually it's going to get to a point to where I settle down, I have kids and stuff like that, and it's like, dude, I don't have a relationship with you, so why would I
might
feel
disappear
comfortable?
then. Imagine you have kids, have a relationship, and you have when she first sees that grandchild, all those woes of all the feeling of what she feels like you may have taken away from her, it's just completely got overflowed with this bundle of joy and love that you just gave to her. It might actually take that, because I see my mom, like when you depict that, all due respect to your mom, all due respect when I say this, I kind of want to tell her, yo, shut up. Like my mom lost kids, and not only that, up until 18 years old, up until last year. I love my mom to death, but anybody could contest. You see that woman, she's transparent now compared to what she used to be. There's a hollowness inside of her. There's not a flame that burns anymore the way it used to. There's no drive. I'm 31. There's no drive in her no more. That's a vacancy that you would never want somebody that you love to have. And I love her, and she has it, and I can't fill that void. You guys got each other. At the end of the day, you guys have each other. That void has to. When it cancels itself out, because I'm more than sure it will, it's just going to fill a pot with love, because it's been so absent for so long. That should have never have been there, especially when you see people that don't have each other.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's always been frustrating for me, because it's like, yo, like, not to take anything away from my brothers and sisters, but it's like, dude, like, when I look back on my childhood, I'm like, yo, I would like to think I was a kid that every parent would want. I was an honor student. I was National Honor Society in high school. I played sports. And for my mom to not be there in the stands when I'm looking, and for her to not be...
What you played?
I played baseball and basketball all the way up until freshman year of college. So,
Let's get it.
Like, for you to not be there is just like yo, like,
why?
Like, what is... like, what... like, what excuse do you really have? So I really... Now that I'm a grown man, it's like, I really have no time for it. Like, I really have no...
That's what it comes down to.
It's like, bro, I don't even want to hear it. Like, save it.
Like, I love my pops, but I treat them the same way.
It's
like, my
bro,
real pops the same way.
It's like... And I've gotten to the point where I've accepted that. We talk maybe 4
Always there for them.
Yeah.
They call, we there.
Yeah.
We do anything.
Yeah, she text me, I answer.
But
right away.
there's no reason for me to reach out.
Yeah.
Like,
we talk, count on my hands, bro, 4 or 5 times a year. Her birthday, my birthday, Thanksgiving, New Year's.
Yo, B, I don't even think if I don't reach out to
I can
my
count my
pops,
hands.
if I don't reach out to pops, I broke 3 weeks ago. Some honesty. I broke 3 weeks ago. It was a Saturday night. I was drinking. I was chilling. I'm writing music, and somewhere along the line, somebody was in my house and have a conversation about their father, and their father's gone, dead. And then I'm sitting there like, oh, I got my father. So that whole night I didn't sleep. Sunday morning I wake up 8 o'clock, driving in my car, drive through the city, call him. He don't answer. I don't go home. I keep driving towards his house. He calls me back. He's moving for the first time in 25 years.
What?
I love him. We haven't spoken months. I love him. But the second thing was, can you come help me move? I love him, and I did help him move. And I'll never turn my back on giving help to somebody I love. But if I wouldn't have called, if I wouldn't jump in that car, if I wouldn't have felt that way, would that conversation even have been had? Mm-hmm. And that's something that I refuse to even dwell on. I just, like you said, got no time for it. At this point in time, I got no time.
And that's part of the reason why I think for me that's part of the reason why I want to get to a point to where, not to say that I'm famous or I'm well known because of that, but I would like to show other kids that, yo, bro, like we're all dealt.
That's the point.
We're all dealt certain cards in our lives that we can't control. I can't control that my mom wasn't in my life or a mother for me, but I have several close friends of mine that I'm tight knit with their mom like that. I call them Ma, and you know, I tell them Happy Mother's Day, send them flowers. Like when I go to Miami to go visit my boy now to see my godson, you know, I'm gonna surprise his mom, who's like a mom to me. And it's like, bro, sometimes you get other people in your lives that are substitutes that fill that void. You know what I mean? And not even just say it's a void, but to say it's just good, genuine people in your life, man. You just gotta accept the role that they play in your life and welcome it.
I think, and everything is a learning lesson. You know, when you choose to settle down, pick your wife, pick your lady, all these telltale signs of what you don't want your child to experience or what you don't want to experience from the woman you're with, like all those signs are there, and it's like it's fortunate but unfortunate. Every rose comes with a thorn. Every rose comes with a thorn. You know, it's like you have to take the fact of what you can make, manifest, create, love, be compassionate with what will hold you. You can only understand those things if you saw what you didn't want. If I didn't see my parents break up, if I didn't see my father do this, my mom act like that, if I didn't see all these relationship binds and turmoils, I can't say that for sure I would know how to carry myself in a relationship even halfway. Or with people, you know, because people are weird. We're also different. We all got little things that are niches that move. I would never know that you had accolades like that. I would never know that you lived with pops rather than not living with mom. Like
my shit is weird. Like it's a different dynamic, especially for us being, you know, Black, Hispanic. Like, what? Your pop's in the picture? Like, that's crazy.
Your pop's a lawyer? What?
Nah,
yeah. Like,
and my mom not in the picture. Like normally it's the other way around. You feel me? So it's crazy when I tell people the story, but
it's character building though.
You know, people always say like, damn man, like, yo, I didn't have my pops around, this and that, blah blah blah. But it's like, bro, like when you don't have your mom around, it's crazy because you see other people with them. It's like, damn, like everybody has.
And then
mom.
Your pops is a different man because your pops ain't. Come over here, honey. No.
So it's different. Yeah.
Your pops is go over there.
Yeah. So that's where the friction was, where it's just like, damn, dude, like
what you did with pops growing up? Any sport? What you did?
Like that's why I was so heavy into sports because my dad loved football. Dad's a huge Cowboys fan, Lakers fan. So
I love Dallas.
So I grew up around a ton of sports, and me channeling my anger was used in sports. Like, and I also use that as a getaway because I just love ball. I love baseball. I love football.
You love the competition.
Yeah,
too.
and it built camaraderie. It built social skills. It gave me a purpose. So I was like, okay, in order for me to play and go to practice and do this and that, I was like, all right, you need to bring home A's and B's. That was where the structure and the discipline came in. So I was like, if I can't have this is my everything. I got to do this to
fucking smart.
Get that. Yeah, so I was like, all right, let me lock in. Now I know that these two correlate. Now I'm doing that, and
would you say
it was just go time from there.
You think I'm gonna play devil's advocate? Being that was structured that way, you think that you would have had the same structure living with mom?
Nah.
Because I think most moms are a little bit pushovers. I think most moms can't control a lot of things. Like, it's hard for them.
Yeah, that, and also I feel like looking at the dynamic of my parents, I feel like my mom is more geared towards trying to be your friend. And I realize, or at least with my siblings, I'm like,
That's my father.
yeah. And I'm like,
insensitive.
Yeah, I'm like, I think it's a very fine line. It's not a problem being close with your kids, as you should be, but there has to be that parent. You still gotta be my parent. You still gotta show me right from wrong. There has to be discipline. Which, not to say my mom was a disciplinarian, but I feel like after I left, my mom was more focused on, I don't want my other kids to leave. Let me be their best friend. And I'm looking back like, yo, everything that they're allowed to do, I wasn't allowed to do.
Of course not.
It's crazy. Like,
that's the way it works.
It was a polar opposite.
Yep, that's
from
the way it works.
when I was a kid, where I had to bring home this, I had to bring home that. Now I'm seeing my brothers and sisters just get by in school and just do whatever the hell they want. And I'm like, what? Whereas I'm so surprised, and that's why I say my youngest brother, like, he gets all the credit in the world because he went to Cornell, got graduated to all the top universities.
That's awesome.
Left his charter school in Harlem, one of the top 3 kids in his class. Like, bro, like, I don't know how he did it, considering my mom was just so laid back.
Mm-hmm.
So I give him the utmost credit, whereas I had my dad on my ass.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to be at the same level as me, if not better, by the time I graduated high school, I have the utmost respect for my
of course
brother. Like,
but it takes all the keys. It took all you guys to factor in how that happened, man. It took him viewing you as the man you are. It took him viewing his siblings and him knowing he's the youngest out of the pack. And then it took the time and attention that he may or may not have been getting from your mom, because him being the baby, he might have got all the attention. But at the same time, it might not have been the attention he wanted, him being the baby. You know what I mean? Because you feel a certain way when you see yourself getting and the people around you not getting. You feel a certain way, like you're getting. Why don't they get the same love and attention? Why don't they get the same? Maybe it reinforced his mind to say, you know what? I can't be too much this way. I can't be too much that way. You know what? I'm gonna do this for myself, my way, and let me show out. You know what I mean? And like I think through every process of every evolution, you see how you have an ugly kid. Like, if a woman has like 6 kids, usually the first one is like the ugliest one. The last one be the cutest motherfucker in the world. It's like the evolution shit. Like, it knew it had to get better. You know what I mean? No homo, you good looking dude. So I would imagine the rest of your siblings must be killers.
That's mad funny. It's mad funny because my youngest brother's a fucking
killer, right? See?
Cute, bro. That's crazy. He's a handsome dude.
But that's my point. Like, through evolution, that's the way it happens. What's great is, though, you've created yourself, my friend, a beautiful foundation. And now what you're stepping into with this podcasting, I guarantee one of them, if not more of them, pick it up. Because they must have personalities the way you do. And they're like, oh, shit. He did. He knows how to do that. He did it. Yeah. Oh, let me get on that. Let me get on that. Yeah. They're gonna see you and want to talk with you, especially because you are siblings and related. What? Yeah. Hey, oh, it must be great. It must be great in your Thanksgivings. No, they're all together.
No, because remember, my mom had 3 separate kids in a separate marriage. And then my father had my brother.
But you guys all live in New York?
Yeah, we're
so you visit each other at least, though. Yeah, that's good though that you have that, man. Like, so, see, that's why I don't know. I love my cousins. I love my family, but I feel like they can have the kids. I'd rather have the success right now. I'd rather die at 60 knowing that they good for the rest of their lives with whatever the fuck I did. You know, like, hopefully I don't have to resort to doing something bad as a person, but if I got one leg to stand on, and you have to decide between like humanity or the people you love, I don't know where I would reside as an older man. Now I'd probably like bite the bullet and say humanity, but as an older man, I might just say kill them all, my family first. You know, like I as long as I did my job while I'm here, I'll be more than satisfied. I don't really look forward to leaving nothing or like, nigga, bury me with my fucking sweats on and bitches in the casket, along with the fucking whatever money I got. Like, y'all good? And use the credit score.
Yeah. That's it. Just something with that. Yeah.
So what made you want to do this sports podcast? You're an encyclopedia?
That, and also, you know,
favorite basketball team?
Favorite basketball team, Lakers.
Lakers. Has it always been?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Growing up in the '90s, everybody is prone to being a Bulls fan or liking Jordan. So I'm gonna be
never the Knicks
with you. Nah, It's crazy, bro. Like my hatred for yo, bro. I'm a New Yorker.
Your hatred for New York.
Not hatred for New York. It's crazy. Not hatred for New York, but hatred for.
Shot, big.
It's crazy. Oh yeah. I don't want New Yorkers coming. Like, bro, I'm a New Yorker through and through. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. But it's crazy, bro, how it is. I tell people this all the time. I hate the Knicks. I hate the Giants, and that's because like in the '90s, I'm a byproduct of. Not only the teams that my dad like, because, you know, it's his
I mean,
son.
don't get me wrong.
You know,
Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, those are my Cowboys.
Emmitt Smith, yeah.
Those Emmitt Smith, those are my Cowboys.
I grew up off those teams, and my dad was diehard Cowboys fan still to this day, even though they're 3-9.
Yeah.
But I grew up hating the Giants because of that.
Still better than the Jets.
Yeah, anybody's better than the Jets. But I grew up hating the Knicks because of Jordan, and anybody that got in Jordan's way, I hated them. So
Everybody tried to get in Jordan's way.
and that hatred just stuck with me for them. So it's crazy. Yeah, that's just pretty much how that hatred came about.
That's crazy.
Yeah, being a product of a '90s baby. But then sooner or later, I finally came into my own. I was like, you know what? I want my own team. Like I don't want the same team as my dad. Like I want my own shit. And I became a Broncos fan. So that's how I tell people all the time. Like that's how I fell in love with Terrell Davis, with the salute, and John Elway, Shannon Sharp.
Elway's a beast, yo.
Yeah.
Elway was a fucking monster.
Rod Smith, Neil Smith, Bill Romanowski, all those great '90s teams. And then my first Super Bowl that I remember vividly as a kid was that Green Bay Packers Super Bowl, and even more so the repeat when they beat Atlanta.
Okay.
I remember watching that Super Bowl. That was actually the last Super Bowl that I watched living under my mom's roof.
Okay.
That was January of '99. I ended up moving July of '99 to live with my father.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember that. And I've just been a Broncos fan ever since. Love the Broncos. Hence that. Yeah.
And you like, and so football's your sport? Favorite?
I love football, but my favorite sport actually is baseball.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Really? How good were you? What position you play?
Baseball and basketball was like neck and neck. But if I had to choose, I'd probably say baseball.
Yeah, baseball, basketball,
Yeah, baseball.
football,
I just
top
yeah,
three.
yeah.
But I have been looking into old hockey reels.
And I like hockey too.
Cause
I like
hockey,
all
yo,
formations.
they get it in. Like
Yeah.
they get it.
Hockey is great. I tell people all the time is when you go in person.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You don't get appreciation for hockey until you go in person. When you see like, yo, you're skating, which is already hard as is. If anybody's skating on ice, you know it's hard.
And they look like they're walking.
Yeah, they skate as smoothly as how we walk. Also, they're controlling a puck. They're hitting it at 100 and something miles per hour. They're guiding a puck.
Oh wait, and I got like 50 pounds worth of equipment on me.
So hockey I have the utmost respect for hockey players, and that's why I tell people all the time, hockey and baseball are probably neck and neck as the hardest sports to play, because think about anything in life. Can you do it at a 30% clip and be considered great? Can you get a 30% on your test and be
That's
considered
not
great?
great.
Can you come in 30% on time throughout the year of your
Not
job?
great.
Okay.
Great
So,
is 110.
yeah. Anything
not
in life,
200.
yeah. Anything in life, you got to do it from 90 or above.
Because
right?
everybody can do 100, but when you do 2,
yeah. So
you're
now,
great.
okay, so that's my point. Think about baseball. When you go 3 for 10, you're great. You're a Hall of Famer.
But it's true.
You hit 300.
What do you think about roids in baseball? And I know when we start your podcast, trust me, I'm gonna be with you, baby.
Yeah,
Trust me.
yeah, see,
but what do you think about how do you think about PEDs in sports in general?
So this is where I stand on that, and that's because I played baseball my whole life. I follow the sport. I love it. I would love to eventually someday down the line work in an organization.
Why you don't play softball or anything with the leagues?
I still play from time to time.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I still play time to time. But the reason why I'm on the fence with the whole roids and the PEDs from the 90s era and stuff like that, because one, I grew up in that era. That was the era that made
McGuire,
McGuire.
Sosa.
I grew up with the McGuire bat.
Are you kidding me? Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Yo, we
those
had
guys,
a fucking...
Yeah, those guys were gods to me. Where
Who was the guy in the
Griffey,
Indians, the third baseman?
The Indians, you had Roberto Alomar, you had
You had a mean third
you
baseman. I
had
forgot his
Manny
name.
Ramirez.
Oh, yeah, Manny Ramirez. Yo, what?
All those great 90s teams.
Bernie Williams.
Yeah, Yankees dynasty. So
Yankees dynasty.
Growing up in the early 90s watching baseball, man, it's like, damn, like it has a close place in my heart. But on the flip side, I understand being someone that played baseball, right? In high school and in college, I understand how difficult it is to play. So I'm on the fence in terms of
As far as what
PEDs
competition, everybody being like, it's just so, the competition's so high.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason why I think that it's very hard to penalize these guys is because you look back on the 1994 season when they had the strike.
Okay.
You had that strike because the players felt like
it. Go.
the players had the strike because they feel like they wasn't getting paid enough. And
Okay.
the owners were like, "No, yeah, you are." That's how it always is. Like, "No, I'm not giving you this money, even though we kind of know you deserve it. No, take what we give you, and that's it."
Okay.
That's how it still is to a certain extent.
Yep.
So the players drew a hard line and said, no, fuck that, we're not playing. And they stopped. Right in the middle of arguably one of the best seasons in baseball history.
Just stop playing.
When you look back at that year, it was crazy. So they stopped in about, I think, August of '94, and they had no World Series for the first time
That's
since
3
the
months
early
left of
1990s.
baseball, isn't it?
Literally, they could have just finished the shit out and argued over the offseason.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you how dumb it was. But money gets in the way of everything. So they stopped playing, and then how could you get the fans back when in '95 the attendance was trash? And and you shitted on the fans because that was the last thing you cared about. Obviously, because you didn't even finish the season.
Nope.
You didn't give fans.
You didn't even give us that.
Yeah, you didn't even give it to them. No World Series, no nothing. So now, what does it do? Is focus my attention on hockey. It focuses my attention on baseball. I mean basketball. It focuses my attention on football. Fuck baseball. You're on the back end now. How do you get those fans back? Turn a blind eye to the Barry Bonds of the world taking steroids.
Yeah.
The Mark McGuire's.
You let them look good.
Yeah, you let them look good, and what puts tails in seats? What puts asses in the seats? Seeing a ball fly out the park. So go ahead, guys. Take what you want. Take what you want.
And not only that,
do what you got to do because
the
at the end of the
person
day,
who does it means everything.
Yeah. At the end of the day, as an owner, if I was an owner, I'd probably be the same way. Like, I'll turn my blind eye because at the end of the day, I got Mark McGuire on my team. I got Sammy Sosa on my team. If they hit 60 home runs, I'm getting a packed house every single day.
And not
concessions,
only that,
jersey sales, all that.
What was the as the coach, what did you really get penalized when they got caught?
I didn't know what was going on. At the end of the day, I don't know what the hell's going on. All I know is that I'm getting a contract extension because I'm managing this team. We're winning. We're winning ball games. We're putting tails in the seats.
If anything, the GM trusts me more now.
Yeah. I'm getting contract extensions. I don't care what you do in your free time. I don't care. But that's what I'm saying is where I have a difficult time saying, no, screw them. Don't let them in the Hall of Fame. Don't do nothing. I have a resolution to that. But I'm like...
I like to hear that too.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's very hard for me because I'm like, from a business standpoint, you guys turned a blind eye to it.
Yes.
When it benefited you. But then when it started to get to a point to where you got the A-Rods of the world...
You turned around and started blaming the players.
Things changed where A-Rod comes up for a big deal in 2000.
Yeah.
And he's the first man to hit that 200 million mark, 250 million mark.
Yep.
But you're like, what the?
Yep.
What's going on here?
Yep.
Now, as an owner, it's like, yo, he's averaging 40, 50 home runs a year. This guy is killing it. He's a gold glover. He's multifaceted. He's a 5-tool player. He got power. He got the arm. He could play defense. He could do it all. Speed, everything.
And he plays for fucking Yankees.
Yeah. And then at the time, he was playing for Seattle.
Oh, he was still playing for Seattle?
He was playing for Seattle,
Okay.
and then he was up for contract. And it was between the Mets and I believe in the Texas Rangers to get his services. And the Rangers came in and just swooped him away with a $200 million plus contract. But then when you start factoring in, shit, these guys are starting to get paid massive money.
A lot of money, bro.
So now the Barry Bonds of the world are up for deals. The Mark McGuires and the Sosas are up for deals. And these guys, rightfully so, are like, pay me.
Yeah.
I'm putting seats and I'm putting fans in the seats.
Yeah. They're coming to see us.
Because they wasn't here after the lockout season. Now owners are like, no, we got to draw a line in the sand. How can we expose this?
Say that they're taking steroids. Or not even that. Just come up with a clause saying
now
that.
It's like, no, this is getting out of hand. We turned a blind eye to it because it benefited us when the money was coming in. But then when the players started saying, can I get a piece of that? Now you're like, oh, no, I don't want to give you shit. No. Take what you were getting before. Where the contracts were the $5 million a year. When you were getting that, no problem. Now when you got the A-Rods of the world getting $20 million, $30 million a year, and these players are like, wait, A-Rod's getting that. I need that too. Now the owners are like, nah. Keep what you were getting before. But I need that extra pie that I was getting from you getting all those fans in the seats.
Is that POV noted? Is this POV or is everybody aware of that? People that do sports, that controversy is there, that political controversy with 94 and why the steroids happened after? Or is this an opinion you formulated?
I think people are aware of that.
You think they're aware of it?
I think people are aware of that for sure. But I think that you have to look at that. You have to really expose it and really focus in on that context because it's very important to focus on that 94 year. I feel like that was what really started everything because, like I said, when it came back post-lockout, fans weren't coming to baseball.
Wow, I remember those 60 home runs, man.
Yeah, like
I remember the home run derby where McGuire just
you had to go home and watch whatever.
Yo,
no matter what you were doing.
I remember that fucking home run derby.
Smack in the middle of the summer, bro. I don't give a shit about no barbecue.
He was in Boston, no? It was the Green Monster, right?
99.
Wow, I remember that fucking home run derby.
Bro, back then, bro, I don't care about barbecues. I don't care what we doing this middle summer. Like, yo, by 7, 8 o'clock, I need to be in the house. I need to watch this home run derby.
Wow.
And that's the kind.
Because I don't look happy for. I don't get forward to home run derbies now. They're not.
Yeah, it's not the same anymore.
They're not.
But I mean, that's another topic in itself as to why baseball is the average baseball fan is a middle-aged white man, And that's another story for another day as to why they don't have that young demographics. But
I think it's a slow sport too. I think in the age where everybody that wants everything quick.
in baseball's defense, as someone, like I said, as someone that loves baseball and has eat, breathes, and sleeps since yay high, in baseball's defense, like you said, everybody's now, I need everything
That's
fast.
why
I need it now.
it's not.
Baseball is a beautiful game because it's a game that forces you to move away from technology. It's a game that forces you to be strategic.
And focus.
You have to use your mind. You
Yeah.
have to pay attention.
Yeah.
And it's like chess. It's not checkers. It's a very beautiful game when you take your time with it. And I feel like the reason why baseball is hurting is because they're so busy trying to catch up with the times and they're trying to use analytics where it's like, this is a game that I would get crucified for it, but I feel like you can't have it overindulged in analytics. Baseball needs to take a step back and say,
Let them play.
what made us great?
Let them play.
Let the players play. Stop overanalyzing things. This is not a game to where you put too much emphasis on, okay, this happens 30% of the time, so let's shift the defense over here to the right side. What about that one chance where you got a man on first and second, and because 9 times out of 10 I hit it there to the right side, you shift your defense to the right side? What about that one time when I bunted over to the left side? And now I just moved the runners because you so hell-bent on the numbers.
Let them play the game.
Let them play the game. It's no more strategy. In a nutshell, in baseball, there's no more strategy, and I feel like that's a part of the reason why, especially guys like myself that grew up watching this game, you got dudes that are in their 30s, low 40s, frustrated with this because it's like, yo, like I know what the other side of this used to look like, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, or you know that I think more than anything, that the reason they call it America's pastime, America's oldest sport, is because we hang on. Even our elders hang on to the Hank Aaron's, the Lou Gehrig, the Yogi Berras. Like even they hang on to those older people, and we hang on to. With baseball, it seemed a little hard to get adjusted to the new players, in the game. I didn't grab the Aaron Judge. I didn't grab the new Yankees like that. They didn't really resonate with me for some reason. Like they didn't, compared to where I used to like Posada and like Rivera and like that whole team there. Just for some reason, it just.
I can attest to that. I kind of can tell you why, and that's part of the reason why it's crazy. Call me crazy, but that's kind of the reason why I fell out with the Yankees, and I've lost my love for the Yankees, and I actually started following the Dodgers and more so rooting for them. Aside
from winning, fuck that.
Yeah, aside
but the Dodgers for the past 5 years,
they've been like they remind me of the old school Yankees.
They've been putting in work for the past 5 years.
You can see the progression.
You see the trades and the things that they're doing. They were trying to make a good baseball team.
Yeah, whereas with the Yankees, I feel like they didn't capitalize on that 2017 team that went to the ALCS and lost to Houston. Even though Houston cheated, we all know that or whatnot. But there was little intricate things that they could have done to have won a World Series.
Yeah, because when Yankees won dominantly for the most part.
Yeah, because there was things that they focused on. They focused on timely hitting. They focused on having great defense, and they focused on
pitching.
That was the key.
Whereas
pitching. Now with this new regime, they don't care about it. It seems like they don't care about it. They got Garrett Cole. Like that was nice.
Knicks.
But I tell people all the time. I feel like that was a pacifier. Like here you got Garrett Cole. Now shut up. But it's like, dude, no, you just put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Like
we're still bleeding.
We're still bleeding. The hole is still glaring. The blood is still seeping through.
Fucking Band-Aid don't even cover it.
They don't even cover it. Like, yeah, you got Garrett Cole, but the rest of your rotation is
trash. Yep.
And then when you get to the postseason, when dudes are dogs and they fight out, they fight every at bat. You got the best of the best 9 times out of 10 are in the postseason. Whereas now this year, because of the COVID season, you added extra teams, and I think that watered down the competition because there was just too many playoff teams.
Yeah.
I think there were 16 playoff teams, and in baseball, I think there's 30 teams. So more than 50% of the league gets into the playoffs. That's another reason why there's so many things that I could talk about as to why baseball is hurting, because it's like you're so hell bent on trying to get fans in that you don't realize you're diluting the quality of the game.
Yep.
But that's another story for another
day. It's the same thing with NBA though. They try to get so political that they like when they started focusing too much on what was going on with the world, changing the names on the shirts and doing all this stuff, that I feel like it took away from the game with them.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I'm 50-50 with that because I feel like,
I think NBA got hot later.
The rosters are smaller, so it's easier for them to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can focus attention on LeBron, you can focus attention on Kawhi. Whereas baseball, you got
it's so many.
It's a big roster. Football, it's damn near. It's impossible because you got a 53-man roster.
162 games? for
In baseball, yeah, it's 162. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but that's the beauty of it, is that you get to see the transformation of a team and really see how legitimate of a contender they are around that summer mark.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's the beauty of baseball, is that it's like a plant. You get to water it and see it grow and see the fruition
Is this
of the
when
team.
you gotta get buds on it?
Yeah.
Is this a male or a female?
Yeah, like, and that's the beauty of baseball, where it's like you have to be patient. You have to see what works and what doesn't.
Yes.
And then by that trade deadline in July, around the summertime, you make the adjustments according to what your team has shown you. And that's why I think I love baseball, is because it's a mind game. It forces you to be strategic.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the indulgence and analytics is causing the game of baseball to be diluted, and it's hurting the game. And if anybody is a baseball fan and watches it deeply, you saw that in this year's World Series. Perfect example, in Game 6, Blake Snell was dealing 6 innings. Anybody knows when a pitcher is dealing, I don't give a shit if his arm is about to fall off. I'm just being funny, but
Go.
You're a dog. You're my ace.
Go.
That's what you're getting paid for. Go. Because we saw the Roger Clemens. We saw the Pedro Martinez.
Yep.
We saw the
We
Randy
saw
Johnson.
how it can go down.
We saw
it happens.
how 1 or 2 pitchers can change the landscape of a whole series.
Yo, remember
In
the
2000
shutouts?
That's when they're non-existent anymore.
Yo, do you remember the shutouts?
My brother and I was sitting in the living room for hours looking at Bob Gibson's stats. Roger Clemens, all these guys, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, all these guys, all these greats.
Out of shape as fuck too, Roger Clemens.
And they weren't the best
Chewing
shape guys.
tobacco.
Now these guys got 6 packs. Like these dudes are so chiseled, they're ripped, they great. But they can't last 40 games, 50 games.
It's not the same
It's
mindset
not
for
the same.
chess.
Yeah, it's not the same. And it's just frustrating because you don't get those pitching duels anymore. And back to what I was saying about the World Series, Blake Snell was dealing. And make a long story short, he had the Dodgers where he wanted them to force a Game 7. They were losing. And for whatever reason, the manager takes Blake Snell out. And just like that, the Dodgers take the lead and eventually end up winning the game and winning the World Series. And the reason why I point that out is because not only did you stop this man when he was in rhythm, clearly shutting down their best hitters.
There's a certain
had
ambiance
their
again.
hearts.
Yeah.
When you got a guy that's dealing like that, you gotta leave him in.
Because mentally you're
But
fucking
the
the other
numbers.
team.
But now where we are in baseball now, analytics is saying, I can't allow my pitcher to see you 3 times
So
out
who
of the
plays the
lineup.
game? The players or the computer?
That's the problem. I can't allow my guy to go 3 times out of the lineup. The manager even said himself, I didn't expect him to give me that much. What? So this is what it tells me. 1, you didn't have confidence in me.
Why would you even state that?
Why would you even state that?
Even if you know it, but
And then 2, as a player, why would I want to play for you? Because now you're showing me that you have no confidence in me. You might not have meant it that way.
You just
obviously
took the
you're gonna clean it
confidence
up.
out of me,
Yeah, now you're gonna clean it up. But now that shows me I could be a dog in the biggest game of my life, and you're gonna take me out. And I'm mad for multiple reasons. 1, you just ruined a potential Game 7 to us to possibly dog it out and possibly win a championship.
But look,
so you ruined my individual legacy.
my record.
My
yeah,
record.
My,
I lost that game now. 2,
my confidence you
ruined
tried to take away.
You ruined my confidence. 3, you prevented us from possibly forcing a Game 7, and who knows, anything can happen in the Game 7. 4, you ruined us possibly winning a championship.
because of a computer.
And 5, lastly, which is, it's very important, but like that's why I said it's lastly, you fucked up my bag. Because now, think about it.
Contract. That's all contract. It's all numbers.
Every-
You want to talk analytics?
now you fucked up my bag because pitchers get paid off of what you do in the big moments.
what you do.
As an owner, I'm like,
Those
Garrett
are
Cole-
bonuses. That's in the fine print.
Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, all these top guys. These guys produce when the lights are the brightest.
Yeah.
Blake Snell, that was his opportunity, and he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you took that from me. Now I can't.
Did he get upset?
You can see it. You can see it. And in the post game interview, you can see he was hurt, man. You can see it. And then now, like, how do we move forward from that? Like, how do we move forward from that? That's a disgruntled player. No matter, I might take the high road and say, yeah, you know, blah, blah, like, blah, blah, blah. Deep down, I'm like, I'm at home, I'm with my boys, I'm with my family. Like, yo, fuck that, dude. I know for me, I would be like,
Yeah, because as a fan, you're like, that's ridiculous. You took away what
there's
I want to
no-
see. I'm
there's
here for
no
this.
excuse for that, dude.
No.
And this is why I'm frustrated with current Major League, the landscape of current Major League Baseball, because the excuses, I didn't want my pitcher to go through the order 3 times. That's the modern day excuse. A quality start is 4 innings. So someone like
You're
us,
in the championship fucking game, though.
and as you know, if you watch baseball, you know normally around 100 pitches or more, that's when you take your starter out.
Okay.
Now these dudes are being yanked at 50, 60, 70 pitches.
Why, to save him?
What are you saving them for? You're in the last game of the World Series. If the Dodgers win, the series is over. What are you saving them for?
He should throw to his arms thrown out.
Yeah, back then they were. And these guys are getting paid so much money, so I understand you're protecting your investment, right? But
if your investment don't want to be protected, you have to let that investment go until it
that's where
otherwise.
Communication is key. It's crazy to me how.
That's why I love UFC, bro.
Yeah,
that's why I love UFC.
But that's why, to a certain extent, I love football now more than ever because it's still analytics doesn't really have a stranglehold on the game. Nah. Basketball, it's trying to with the Rocket style, like the Rockets are the modern day Yankees.
Okay.
When what I mean by that is swing for the fences, and we'll accept you having a 200 batting average. But if you got 30 or 40 home runs, it's okay. If your on base percentage is high, it's okay, even though your batting average is shitty. Whereas people that has grown up all throughout baseball, all throughout the time of baseball,
we don't care about the batting average.
Now, the batting average means shit.
But growing up, remember if
what? Whereas, like, dude, if you
had a 300, dude had a 290, yo, we knew he was getting a hit.
Yeah, but now it's like nobody gives a shit about it. Oh, you hitting 220, 200? Oh, it doesn't matter because OPS is high.
Yo, Jeter was batting 290 his whole career. Like ever since I seen Jeter.
Jeter's 300 hitter.
All career. All career.
And that's where I'm like, but bro,
that fucking high stance.
It's crazy because it's like, dude, like baseball writers is like, yo, you're the same guy that promotes DJ LeMay.
Even Griffin was a fucking 300.
Griffey
was
all these greats, right? That had high batting averages, but now when it comes to modern day baseball, it doesn't mean shit. How? I understand everything is about
the standards got lower.
Everything is that's what I'm getting to is that I saw our standards getting lower. So batting average doesn't matter as long as your on base percentage is high. And correct me if I'm wrong, right? I've been watching baseball my whole life, and this is what I always tell people. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm like, if my batting average is high, isn't my on base percentage high? Because I'm on base when I get a hit.
And not only that, your RBI should be higher too, because that means you're always getting a base hit, so you're moving it along.
So I don't know, man. It's a very tough predicament that we're in, and I hope
they would be more satisfied with a person having a batting average that just focuses on him hitting more home runs than him getting on base. That's where the new stereo is.
That's where my love for the Yankees over the course of these last 3 or 4 years has started to dwindle because we've put so much money like other teams into our analytics department to where now it's like you're lessening the impact that a manager has on the baseball team because you're going to your analytics department. So you're going to these IT guys. You're going to these guys from Yale and Harvard and MIT.
That don't play baseball.
I can't understand.
Don't play baseball.
Bro, if I had an analytics degree or I had a degree from MIT or something like that, I'd probably be in baseball right now. And that's the sad part.
Yeah,
it's like,
because
bro,
you play though.
Yeah. But it's like it's sad because it's like, dude, so what about the people that play? What about the people that have a passion for this and genuinely love this and want to be involved in this sport and are telling you, dude, listen to me. This is what works. This is what the fans really want. Don't get me wrong. Analytics, when used properly, is great. Just like technology. When used the way it's supposed to be used.
Baseball is a game of probability, though. And you never know when that swing of the bat got you somewhere or that those pitches ended up being the greatest game.
This World Series, despite it being the Dodgers, a big market team, and the Tampa Bay Rays being a low market team, was beautiful. And the reason why I say that is because it was starting pitching. These last 2 World Series have been focused on what has made baseball great for hundreds of years.
Okay.
Starting pitching, timely hitting.
Okay.
Great base running.
Okay.
And up until Blake Snell being taken out too early in Game 6.
Good pitching?
Strategic managing
in general.
Great starting pitching, timely hitting, good base running, and good managing.
Up until that point?
And I'm like, why have we fallen so far away from what has worked forever?
Well, do you think COVID has something to do with something? You think the times have...
Nah, because this analytics in baseball has and I think it's only going to get worse until it gets in. I mean,
what do you think about the replay then?
I think the replay is great because you've had instances to where dudes have lost their no hitters because there's been a bang bang play at first and the ump will call the guy safe when he's an out. there was an incident, you know, I think it was about 10 years ago, where a Tigers pitcher almost had a no-hitter, and the ump called him safe, and the guy was out.
You feel the same way about the 10 count in boxing?
Well,
I kind of feel like a clock should do it, not a person. Have you ever seen the boxing matches where these dudes count this? They're on 7 for 10 minutes. 7.
Oh, you took. Oh, okay.
8.
Yeah, they're
Like-
waiting to get like, bro. He's knocked out. Call the fight, bro. He's knocked out. He's in REM sleep right now. He's in.
Like I
you
feel
know?
weird about the instant replay and like analytics. I think should be used during those times when there's maybe a instant replay when you have to have a clock counting down the proper way. I don't think you should use analytics
Honestly,
for the purpose
G.
of seeing somebody's heart in a game.
You can't see their heart anymore because analytics takes taking that away.
Get the fuck
And that's
outta
my
here.
point.
What? So I'm not allowed to?
And that's my point. It's like, how can you attract these young kids, and how can you?
You
get the
can't because
next
it's not
generation-
spontaneous no more.
It's not like, bro. We already have.
There's nothing to look forward to.
Our whole lives are infused with technology. Everything that we do is in technology. So, it doesn't mean that we have to put it in sports, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Analytics, when used sparingly and used appropriately, is great for sports. To build a team, to build a roster,
To have conversations.
Yeah. But I feel like because it worked for one team, like if you ever saw Moneyball,
Yes. of
Moneyball
course.
with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill, that movie I feel like was great because it showed you what you could do with a lower market if you use other resources, such as the Oakland A's. But it's like that shouldn't be the end all be all.
No.
So the Tampa Bay Rays started using that. They started using analytics, and then people see that it worked for them, and then it's like monkey see, monkey do. Oh, it worked for them. Let me do that, bro. Whatever works for other teams, it
May
works
not
for
work
them.
for
It might not work for you.
Mhm.
And my frustration with the Yankees and what caused me to fall out with them is like, dude, at the end of the day, you're the New York Yankees. You're the evil empire. That was
25 fucking pennants.
27 championships,
27 championship.
over 40 World Series
Are you
appearances.
kidding me?
And granted, that's not to say that always spending money works, right? But you
It's how they
always put your
it's-
foot on
yeah.
team throats by spending.
We've had
as much-
great names. It's
Yeah.
not just the money. We've had great individual
And
players.
you've had more importantly, because you've done it 27 damn times, you've had a blueprint of as to what works. And for the most part, throughout all of our championships, we've had great pitching, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you keep falling short is because you're just not doing what you need to do in terms of getting the right starting pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've deviated away from that. And that's the reason why you're going on 11 plus years. I think this season coming up is 12 years without a World Series.
I mean, you never have a closure like Mariano Rivera, though.
That's never gonna happen. Yeah,
That close. That
never
man.
gonna- I
That
don't think
man.
that's ever-
That
yeah.
man.
Mariano is.
He used to come
I'm
in.
just grateful
and
that I got
just-
to see it.
Yo,
I got
word.
to-
Like, I'm so grateful that I got
tell
to
my
see
kids
it.
that, like, yo, I saw Mariano Rivera.
Yo, that's how I feel about the. And,
Derek Jeter,
oh, I
these
know you like this one, but that's how I feel about watching Tyson fight, my brother. I never got to watch Tyson fight. Like I remember him biting Holyfield's
yeah, we
ear.
were young when that happened.
But that's it. I remember buying Holyfield's ear, and that's it. Like, I never, my parents would never buy pay-per-view because they end too fast. Like, you know, like, it would never
it sucked.
happen.
Yeah.
And for me to see what him and Roy Jones did, I was like, oh, you just. That's like
throwback. It ended too
oh,
fast.
man.
That was the go-to.
That's
excuse.
like for me. That's like Eddie Murphy did Raw and Delirious in '88 and '89. I was born in '89,
Oh, okay.
but I got to see Dave Chappelle, and for me, that's seeing Dave
That was
Chappelle is
everything.
what?
Hell show that was everything.
What?
That span from like what 02
Yo.
to 03.
Who was he with in the car when he was a pimp?
Yo.
Tracy, no, something Grady.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, he,
Brady.
no, something Grady.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne
Yo, that was hilarious. He said, yo, you got my money? You got my... Yo, did you eat my sandwich? Yo.
He was everything for us, man.
Dave is
Dave
and then
was-
for him to go on that, what, a year hiatus?
Yeah, he went on that hiatus.
Africa?
Yeah, I was like,
Didn't
damn.
Richard Pryor do the same?
Yeah. he
And
needed
you know what
to
they both said?
recalibrate.
When you go over there, there's no such things as niggas. When you go over there, there's a, it's a shame. Oh man. For them to say it, it makes it a little bit easier for me to understand. But it sucks that a heritage could be stripped from people and them have no awareness of it because they've been gone from it for so long. And then when you make the decision to go back to the place where you supposedly came from, you don't even have to say anything or talk to anybody, but you You feel it in the air, and these gentlemen, for them to come back and both say the same thing, that they don't say the N-word over there. They don't. The way they act, the way they talk, the way we are to one another, the way we feel with one another, the way we feel about one another over there, it's so different. And they took that energy. They came back to the States and crushed it. Because after that, before that, he set himself on fire. Then went over there and then came over and then did his thing on the Sunset Strip. One of his last stand-ups before he started deteriorating. And then when Chappelle came back, he fucked the 30 mil. Fuck the 30 mil. I came back even 10 times stronger because I found where I came from. This energy is like, it must suck. It must suck. Yo, I'm watching this documentary now, Origin Africa on Netflix. 4 million slaves were taken from Africa. It took 4 million Africans to populate the entire globe with African. If it wasn't for Africans, I wouldn't be a Puerto Rican. Understand? Like, if it wasn't for that happening, those chain of events, I wouldn't get the Denzels. I wouldn't get the Roe. I wouldn't get the Kevin Harts. I wouldn't get all this magic and power. And it sucks that, again, every rose has its thorn. It took something that for 500 years still a guy takes a knee for a reason and we go batshit. Give me a break. It's the land of the free. He should have been able to take a shit on the 50-yard line and would be okay with it. Because people do less and we're fine with it. Yo, the naked cowboy was talking about the presidency. Are you kidding me? The guy's been on fucking Times Square for 30 years and they're asking the opinion of the naked cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that get away with worse and we still can't get over this hump of something like color. But I find the beauty in it. The fact that because of that happening, because of all that happening, we get all this now. Mm-hmm. There is nothing better than the culture we put in. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine how bland this world would be if it was just white? Just one color. Just everything just... Imagine if you guys, and I say you guys, but I really mean myself. Imagine if our ancestors were contained to just Africa and they didn't get to populate, whether it be rape or whether it be sensual. They didn't get to populate this planet, and we didn't get this magic. Look at baseball. When I see these athletes, Barry Bonds, fuck your steroids. He still is a fucking monster. You don't get that without what happened. And yo, and I'm so grateful for those chain of events taking place because it does suck, but the beauty is there.
I agree, 100%. And I guess for me it's easy because I love people, white.
I thought it'd be harder for you because as an African American that shows the skin color, it seems like you have the burden or you don't. You have the burden of it or you don't, and you make the choice to have it or you won't. You were like, don't matter what the fuck they look like, what they are, what they is. Yeah. That's the same way I am. Yeah. You judge a person by a person.
Yeah, by your character.
And you, I can't help but love Genius. Yo, B, when I see The Rock, his body, that's genius. I don't give a fuck if he's taking Mexican supplement. That is because he's still...
You still have to put the time in.
Yes, you gotta put the work.
You still gotta eat right. And that's where I was getting to about the steroids era is that...
Oh, yeah, that's where we started all this.
Yeah. And that's where I was
Mind you, this is our first episode.
Yeah. And that's where I was getting to with the whole steroids era is that you hit the nail on the head. Is that you still got to put the work in.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time. They're like, yo, do you feel like you would vote in A-Rod? And I'm biased because I'll tell you right now.
You take steroids and you sit down on the chair and then your muscles pop out.
Yeah. I'm an A-Rod fan through and through. That's my guy.
Me too. That's my guy. And he got J-Lo? Yeah. Fucking my ninja.
He's won it. And it's crazy how he's redone his whole career.
He almost bought the Mets.
Yeah. And he's the man in my book. But if you know baseball, you know, like, and I get it. He cheated. Barry Bonds cheated.
Come on, we met.
There's two ways of me looking at it. Either you take their stats from where it's known that they did steroids, and you put them in for that, right? I put in Barry Bonds from when he first came into the league until about 90. He said she started taking it like 95, 96 around when Sammy and McGuire started bulking up. Okay, so I put his stats in from there. 96 to 07, I got to strip you of that, right?
Okay.
A-Rod. From 94 to 2000, I'll put you in for that.
Okay.
If not, put them in all the way entirely. but then give them an asterisk. Say, hey, from 2000, 2000, they took steroids.
That's it.
There's
it's like a no contest in boxing.
It doesn't take away the fact that these dudes put in the time and the effort and the energy to do this. Because
and
the reason why I said it is because
people backing them, the fans, the money.
You still need the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
I grew up playing baseball my whole life, dude. That shit is hard to hit a baseball.
Who you telling?
Coming from a different angle, thrown from different speeds, different arm slots. And I still got to be able to hit.
What position you played?
I played shortstop and second base.
So you had to every pitch when you was on your shit?
Always had to be on my shit. I had to be in tune. So coming from that side, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I can also understand why they took it because, dude, I got to take care of my family. I got to extend my career. And now with the money that's coming in, I'm not going to lie to you. It's tempting.
Yeah, I have to be as good as I was for this money.
Yeah.
Every day.
And aside from that, like I said, it's like, dude, like, it's not easy, whether you take it or not. If you look at the Mitchell Report, which came out, I think, in 04, 05. The Mitchell Report was where Senator Mitchell, Major League Baseball hired him to conduct a test. He did like a 400-page report on all the players that took it.
Okay.
I did a project for this in undergrad, and I said, dude, out of maybe, I think there was 84 players on there. 4 of them were Hall of Famers. Out of 84 players plus, 4 were Hall of Famers. What does that tell you? For me,
I mean, it tells me that everybody's doing it, and not only that, the Hall of Fame, they're keeping up with what's being done.
But not only that, I'm looking at it, I'm analyzing it even more now.
Go.
If 100 of you guys take something, right, and only 4 of y'all came out nice and were super nice,
I mean, it's not really working. It still took a level of skill.
You still gotta have that is my point. You still have to have the skill. You still gotta have the capacity to have you're born with it.
You got bars.
Either you're born with it or you're not.
Yeah.
Because
and all this can do is enhance what you're born with.
I play this shit. There's numerous people that I played with it. Either you're nice or you're not, dude.
Yeah.
And if you look at A-Rod's career,
it's like rapping.
You look at A-Rod. I could copy Drake. I could copy Fab's flow and all that. But I'm not gonna be Fab. I'm not gonna be Drake. They're special. I'm not gonna be 50. I'm not gonna be.
It's not even that.
Jay. They just got it. They got it.
Yep.
Either you're born with it or you're not. I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true. And you look back on that Mitchell Report, pull it up. Pull up the Mitchell Report. The list is there. You go through it. The dudes that were Hall of Fame worthy: Gary Sheffield, Barry Bonds, Jason Giambi, A-Rod, Manny Ramirez.
That's it. But all those people were taking it.
But there were so many other people that took it that I didn't even know existed. And that is my point. Like, you're so hell-bent on sending those guys away as cast-offs and crucifying them that we don't really appreciate what they did for the game and elevating the game and getting kids like me hooked on this beautiful game.
But it goes back to your pointing fingers.
Sharing it with my kids and sharing it with other kids. Like, yo, baseball is such a beautiful game. Where, like, if we just take the time out to appreciate the beauty of it and not just point fingers and, this guy took steroids.
But that's what it goes back to, them needing to point fingers. And do you think they knew it would take away?
Take ownership of it.
But do you think they knew it would take away from the game as much as it did to point fingers?
I don't think they did.
They just thought, take the heat off of me.
At the end of the day.
Just the money. They didn't want to lose the money.
At the end of the day, dude, and I can't blame them. And this is what I'm saying. Like, just accept it. If we just accept it.
Like the Patriots cheating. Just take it.
Can you blame the players or the owners? The owners in terms of, I need to put fans back in the seats. How can we do that? Players, all right, I'll take the steroids. I'll jeopardize my health. But also when the time comes, now that all these fans are back and we're seeing TV deals, we're seeing sponsorships and endorsements. I need a bigger cut of that pie.
That triple beam. Triple beam weighs crazy because it's like on one end you're right. I got my family, my performance, what I'm supposed to live up to. That's what I got on one end, and then on the other side of that, I have my integrity, I have my moral, I have my respect for the game. I have the fact of, at the end of the day, end all be all, label as a cheater. Should I get caught? You know, that triple beam weight, and it comes down to what I told you earlier. Either would I kill a whole race of people just to save my family now as a man? Nah, I'd let my family die. But when I'm older, I'll kill the whole world for my family. It comes down to that balance where a person or a player is in their life. Like, it really comes down to it. But to penalize them in a way to take away their whole legacy, that's ridiculous, because that's to say it never happened. It happened. It happened.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta accept it.
And you know what? It happened so great that you're only blaming him for the fucking shit that he did because he did his job so fucking well.
Yeah. Because think about it, if the summer of '98 never happened with Sammy Sosa and McGuire, everybody.
Oh, that was such a great fucking before he bleached his skin.
Yeah. And Sammy, no homo, man. Sammy was a handsome looking dude.
Yo, Sam.
I don't get it, man.
Yo, shit. And he's Dominican. Yo, you know what he was doing with all these hoes. Yo, you kidding me?
I'll never understand it. But in all seriousness, bro, like that summer of '98 springboarded me into my infatuation and my love for baseball.
Oh, really? Oh, when you saw that level of competition between the two
like
gentlemen?
The Yankees were there and stuff like that as a little kid.
Who won that year?
The Yankees.
Yankees won that year?
Yeah, the Yankees were the greatest team arguably of all time. They won 126 games. Special. 125, sorry. But
with what team?
98 Yankees.
Pettis? What team? Pettis?
Pettit. Clemens came in '99. No, Clemens wasn't there yet. So it was Pettit.
Posada.
David
Williams.
Cone, I believe
Knobloch,
yeah.
Remember Chuck Knobloch's weird ass stints?
Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill.
Tino Martinez.
Everybody was there.
Wow. Yo, that was a great year. Yo, that was the great.
Man, that was glory days for baseball. And it just goes to show you that, dude, no matter how great Sammy and Mark were individually, you still needed the team.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate in terms of looking at it as
they were chasing Babe Ruth.
Yeah. And
yo, his shit lasted for how long?
Roger Maris and Babe Ruth.
How long? So that's 60 years it lasted? It was 1950 they did it, or 1960.
It was Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth did it in the early 1900s, and Roger Maris did it in 1961. 1961. So it lasted about 37 years. Wow. Yeah, 37 seasons. So, so damn near 4 decades, and it finally was broken. But
do you believe it's really broken then because the Royds were involved? Oh, good question. Good. I know it's hard.
No, it's tough because, as we know, man, you start juicing up and you start taking PEDs. Extra muscle that you didn't know you had starts to arrive and popping in areas that you didn't know was there.
That's how your pecs get flat too.
Yeah, and in that regard, the extra muscle and all that stuff. Yeah, but you still got to see the ball and you got to hit the ball.
Yeah, you still got to you got to show up to the game.
And
you
that's what I tell
there.
people all the time. I'm like, I refer right back to the Mitchell Report. That Mitchell Report is kind of like the gift and the curse.
Yeah, it let you know, but it also let you know.
Like, it showed me that 90% of these dudes that was juicing, if not more, you only got some dude. You probably didn't get nowhere near all the players that were actually taking.
Yeah. If they did 100 players, they would expect to get at least 50.
Yeah, my point in referring to the Mitchell Report is to show people, really look at it, pay attention to it. Circle the names that were Hall of Fame players on there, and then look at what's left. It's glaring. The rest of that list, you're going to be like...
Nobodies?
I never even heard of most of them.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's my point. Just take 2 seconds to look at the list.
We're going to do a podcast on that report.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mitchell Report. Just look at it. Really pay attention to it and analyze it. If anybody that's a true baseball fan and be like, yo, like, not for nothing, yeah, what they did was wrong. But these 4 or 5 guys, dude, they were just naturally already gifted. They were already great.
All they did was enhance their greatness.
Yeah,
that's all
they just prolonged their careers.
Yeah, that's all they did.
And when and for a business, as an owner, I'm happy because
numbers, everything's coming in.
We're
winning. What am I gonna question?
Jersey sales, like, it's all good.
What am I gonna question?
But as an owner, now I'm kind of tight when you come knocking on my door.
I want more money.
Nah.
Why?
No, G. Nah.
What
Thank
do
you
mean?
for your...
Wait, what do you mean I can't have more money?
No.
I'm the one bringing everything here.
Yeah. That's how it is. It's unfortunate, but that's...
Wait, so I'm not going to play then?
All right, we'll trade you.
Oh, you going to trade me? That's how it goes? All right, fine. And then you trade and you lose all those numbers and have to start to build that back up in another place.
Yeah.
So it's they play the game of goose and gander with one another, players and management, because it's like you're only good as what you're good for, and that's it. Once you're good, you're not good no more. Yeah. Once you start arguing and becoming a problem, then you're not good no more.
Yeah, and I was watching a baseball documentary. I don't recall the name right now, but one part that it said that stuck out to me, and it was literally like with the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of it.
Okay.
In a nutshell, it was like when I'm fearful. The narrator was like, I'm fearful that when this game becomes a game about business is when we're going to lose the beauty of it. And you're kind of seeing that. And that's with any sport. It's just the focus is so much more money. Whereas you and I growing up as a kid or anybody.
That's what almost anything.
It was just pure, the natural love of it. natural doing it. Now it's just like, dude, the money that you're getting from this is so astronomical. And granted, these guys are special. These guys are playing a game that only a small percentage of the population can truly play and play at a high level.
Yeah.
But because there's just so much money involved between the two parties, players and owners, you're losing that part that's really the beauty of it, and as to why you're in this.
Almost like you're losing your reason.
Yeah.
You're losing your purpose.
And because there's no spotlight on the part that makes this game beautiful, you're not able to portray that to the demographics and the youth that we need to share this to in order for this game to grow.
Well, maybe that is the job of a media personality such as yourself looking to be. Maybe that is the job of more personalities to speak about. You know, I know you get the Aaron Boone. You know, Aaron Boone's dope. You know, I know you have your baseball personalities, but the same way where I'm sorry, his name eludes me, but he passed away from cancer. His anniversary was a couple days ago. Something Scott. He has glasses.
Stuart Scott.
There you go. So that's why excuse. Oh man, but I deep dived on why he got famous. He got famous off of the fact he was using our ordinary terminology is how we talk.
Booyah.
Booyah in basketball.
Yeah,
like
slang, and he just had something.
It might take a person now for that for baseball though. Because we've sat here for an hour and 20 minutes. So you figure for at least 35 of it, you can definitely hear your compassion for what you like doing, especially with baseball and how these people just tarnished what you love with this. But they tarnished it. They step on it a little bit with how great it can be and how great it can be.
I don't want to. That's a really harsh term or a really harsh word. I don't want to say they tarnished it, but it's getting to a point to where they're not appreciating what makes the game.
You have
great.
your fine line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're. Oh man, I gotta find.
But you see that first.
Yeah, it's just very frustrating because it's like, dude, baseball is such a beautiful game, man, and I just wish that there was moderation, there was a balance. Like anything, balance is key. If you have too much water, you can die, right?
Yes.
If you have anything, too much of anything, it can be bad for you.
Yes.
So there should be a balance. There should be a moderation. I just want there to be a balance in baseball. Not too much analytics, not too less of it. Just have a middle ground. But also let the players be in the forefront. Let them play the game, dude, and let them use their mind. Let the managers manage and not micromanage. And get back to what made the game beautiful. Stop overreacting when the pitcher gets in trouble. Let him get out of the jam. It's like a kid. It's like let him develop. Don't if you're constantly over a kid, he's gonna constantly like. Mom,
he knows he's safe when he fucks up.
Yeah, like it's like the best way I could put it is the most growth in my life has occurred from me failing.
Bars.
And I think in sports, man, that's the most beautiful thing in life because it's one thing in life to where you can fail and it's not detrimental in terms of your health or it's not detrimental in terms of, you know what I mean? Like
you ain't died because you failed.
Dying from it because you failed. So why not let them fail and learn so they can grow? That's why I love sports because it's one thing where you can fail and fail miserably, but use that to where, okay, now I know what I need to do. Let me come back next year harder and stronger. I know I don't got a left hand. Let me take 1,000 shots a day with my left.
That's Tyson. That's Tyson right
I know
there.
my jabs are weak with the left. Let me hit all day with the left. Let me work on that.
Yeah.
Spar with me. Baseball. I know I'm not catching up to the curveball. Let me get in the cage and let me hit
every curveball
all day. Let me see it from different angles all day.
So I know what it looks like.
Bro, so when you don't allow a player to learn from their mistakes and you constantly coddle or baby them, you're in trouble.
And you think that that's a problem that we have in... I know it's a problem we have in sports in general, though.
Yeah,
that's why I love Tom Brady, though.
Yeah.
Because for that man not to retire, said, fuck it, I'm going to go to the Bucks. You got no reason to play no more. Dude, done. You done. You got it.
You got a ring. You got an extra ring for the thumb, dude.
You're done. But you said, let me go to the Bucks.
But that's the thing, like, we're done in terms of his resume is set.
But that's love of sport.
But he's technically not done. And that's the beauty of it.
But that's the same beauty that you see in baseball. That's the beauty of it. Technically, he's not done.
Yeah.
Technically, there's still a sport to be played here with baseball that these people, what got them, that's why people appreciate college ball so much. Because these college players have something in their eye that you don't see in the major league.
It's beautiful because They still got that.
College basketball is
they know where
amazing.
they're going. Don't get me wrong. Those athletes,
Yeah, but
those
they're playing
top athletes know
like
where
they're in the
going.
NFL already playing.
Yeah, they know where they're going, but they still are playing for something bigger than them, and that's where you see the beauty of it.
Yep.
Like college baseball, you see that because a lot of these dudes they're gonna get drafted. Most of them are gonna get drafted. Before pre-COVID, you had like 30-something rounds, so everybody gets drafted. That's college baseball. It's insane, but not all of them are gonna make
You know, all
it.
the Knicks are from Kentucky this year. All the Knicks are from Kentucky. They're all from one school.
It's crazy. And that,
Might just work.
but
Yo, Kentucky got a really good team though.
Kentucky has a beautiful program because they constantly get the top recruits year in year out.
Yeah.
But you know what the funny thing about it is?
Talk to.
Their championship team that they won with in 2012 probably wasn't even their best team that they ever had talent-wise.
Really?
You look at that team: Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Okay.
I forgot he's the younger brother of Jeff Teague, Marcus Teague, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I say this to say this. I say that to say this. Excuse me. They didn't have a shit ton of top 10 ESPN high school recruits.
No.
You had Anthony Davis, who really was just a defensive.
Just a
problem.
defensive
He wasn't
problem.
Anthony Davis what he is right now,
Nah.
obviously, and that takes time you develop.
Mm-hmm.
But that team wasn't even. I don't think they're the most talented team. In 2010, 2 years before that, they had John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins.
Okay.
And they didn't come close to a championship. But my point is that sometimes when you have too many young dudes on your team that's super talented, like Kentucky has year in and year out, you don't have a chance to develop. You don't have a chance
There's
to
no
grow.
chemistry.
There's no chemistry because everybody's trying to eat on their
And
own.
their brains aren't
and
developed.
I'm out to get what I need to get.
They
and
want to
that's it. I'm trying
fucking get that Jaguar.
And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Because think about it. It's three of us here. Have a top 10 athlete, and then you add two more to the picture. Bro, I don't care about learning how to play within the
Now I
system.
gotta
I'm
share
trying
my
to get
pie.
Yeah, I'm trying to get mine. I'm trying to get a lot of.
That's always been the problem with the
and
Knicks.
that's it.
Every player that comes over here to like Starberry, like I think the best chemistry team we had was probably Starks and Houston.
Oh yeah, because you had a foundation and you had great coaching, and your front office was really good. And I think the last truly great Knicks team was
Melo, Jin.
I would say Melo and that team from 2013 when Jason Kidd was there,
Oh yeah, we had Kid, right?
Chauncey Billups. Yeah, in the back end of his career, but
Nets are looking like a problem this year. Nuts want to get somebody. Wait, who
James
they want?
Harden.
Yes, they trying to pick up, but the Rockets don't want to give him up, right, or
Yeah.
something?
And if I'm the Nets, honestly, man, I think
I don't think there's
I
enough
love
balls.
what NBA. Yeah, exactly.
There's not enough balls.
Yeah, there's just not. There's not.
You got
man.
Irving, you got Durant, you got
Yeah, man, it's just too much, man. And honestly, like that, like you're
The Lakers almost got too much balls.
yeah, you're depleting the product.
You think the
Like,
Lakers do it again next year?
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah. I think you just got too many weapons, and when you have a dude like LeBron,
I think he
is a
activated his
superstar-
Jordan switch though.
Yeah, when you
I
have a
think
dude like
he's
LeBron
going
that
for
can
it.
get so many guys.
How many rings he
involved.
got?
4.
Yeah, I think he activated it,
Yeah,
man.
I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron get one more.
I know. I want 7.
Nah, I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a Jordan and Kobe. Kobe is
So you love the Last Dance then?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, but that was my childhood memories being reactivated.
Yo, I love the
And we was in
Last
quarantine. There was nothing else going on, so it was just like every Sunday I was.
Ain't it sick how every successful prick is a prick? Ain't it sick how all this conversations are oh, he's a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dick. Yeah, because he wants greatness. He knows what you can give to him.
And that's why I loved Kobe, because it was just like, yo, I'm gonna be great by any means necessary. And sometimes you're like, damn, like looking back on it, like, damn, I was a douchebag. But
Yo, when I look at his highlights on YouTube though, and how he used to run games, like Jordan was great because Jordan, in my opinion, had such great moments, and not only that, the rivalries were really, really. But what Kobe used to do when he would captain the court, he would captain like literally. That shot where he puts both his legs up and he shoots it. Yo, B, I always think that's missing. I lost every bet in my life because he perfected maneuvering up and down the court with no problem.
poetic.
Yo, Sean, and I wonder if the Jordan generations feel like that about Jordan the way we feel about Kobe, because I'm a Jordan head, don't get me wrong, but
We caught the back end though.
yeah, and there's something about this. We call Space Jam.
Yeah.
What you think about LeBron in the new Space Jam?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah?
It comes out July 16th. I was just watching his second part of Road Trip.
We haven't seen no commercials or nothing,
Yeah,
though, right?
yeah, no. I think they're gonna wait on that until next year. Rightfully so. It's just been too much going on this year. But I was watching Road Tripping actually, which is a podcast with Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye. And LeBron, they had LeBron on there, and he was talking about it a little bit. He was saying how he's hoping that things get better so that by the time the movie comes out in July 2021,
people could be in the movie theaters.
Yeah, so that would be awesome.
I think that's gonna be.
I hope that's the case, man. Hopefully.
I mean, I wonder if these greats get like I see like in rap, right? You never hear in rap when we compare the greats, when we talk about like a Jay-Z or a Nas, or when we talk about a Drake, when we talk about a J. Cole, when we talk about a Kendrick, right? We their individuality. We don't compare them at all. There's no comparison to them, whether it be their careers, whether it be them as individuals. With basketball, it must suck when like you're great and niggas want to compare you to fucking, oh, but he's not as good as him. Oh, he's not good. But you think he's better?
You know what's crazy?
Like,
I was literally, like I said, I was watching the Road Tripping Podcast Part 2 yesterday, and LeBron was kind of talking about that, where like when you talk about the greats of football, it's like Montana and Brady, and then you just leave it alone, kind of, right? When you
really?
talk about hockey,
That's what they think, Montana and Brady?
It's true, yeah. When you talk about, even though Brady has more rings, so when some people say Brady, it's kind
Elway
of
never got a ring, right?
Elway got 2.
No, I'm sorry. Marino never got a ring.
Yeah. Marino, and a lot of people Marino's the greatest of all time. Like
what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And that's crazy. But I can't really comment on that because I don't remember Marino until the back end of his career. And plus, I'm kind of biased because I grew up a Cowboys fan. I love Troy Aikman, even though Troy Aikman is never in the greatest conversation.
Yeah, but he got a ring.
Yeah, he got 3.
But he got a ring. Oh, he got 3. I was about to
say, and he won back-to-back once. But my guys are Troy and John. I'm always gonna be biased to Troy and John Elway. But Brady, like he said, like when you talk about Brady and Montana, it's just like neck and neck, or Brady a little bit, and then that's it. You talk about hockey, it's Wayne Gretzky or Brett Hull.
And that's it. Nobody really knows any other hockey names.
That's it. Yeah.
Only enforcers.
Yeah, like that's it. That's it. So, or you talk about soccer, it's Pelé or Maradona, and that's it.
Baseball, they mention more names, I think.
Yeah, baseball. Well,
but they don't really compare people.
Like Babe Ruth, and that's it.
But they don't compare people like that in baseball.
That's what I'm saying. Whereas the basketball, it's like, and to a certain extent, they didn't really harp on that too much, but it's more individualized. It's a smaller roster.
Yeah.
And
what, 15 players per team?
At least in the past, since Jordan and marketing and putting the player out and endorsements, it's become more of an individualized sport. Whereas baseball, think about it, basketball, you got the player out there. You got LeBron out there. You got Kyrie. You got KD. You got Steph.
That's what you know.
Yeah, that's who
you just know what they play for, but you don't really know anybody on the team.
Whereas baseball, nobody knows Mike Trout unless you go out of your way to know Mike Trout, or you know baseball. You know who Mike Trout is. But the average kid, unfortunately, doesn't know who Mike Trout is, and it's a travesty because he's gonna go down as one of the top 5 players of all time. So that goes to show you, like, what is baseball doing? To tie it back to what we were talking about before, it's like baseball got to figure it out, man. And I hope sooner rather than later they do, because they're doing a great disservice to a lot of these greats that are in the game. I think now more than ever, there's so much talent in Major League Baseball, but it's not being showcased properly. Like, the kids don't know who these guys are, and it's sad. And I hope sooner rather than later, man, they figure it out.
Do you think that baseball is a race war of any sort? Do you think like the demographic, like, there's a reason why the younger crowd is not grasping onto baseball, and it's not only the politics, in my opinion. There has to be another consensus where it's like maybe the players themselves don't grasp onto the children or don't grasp onto the younger crowd. Maybe like I don't know the last time that I've heard a baseball like tragedy story or something like that.
Well, I mean, last year there were a few incidents where kids were hit in the face with baseballs, and from the beginning, I would say the beginning of the season last year, they started implementing nets, and that right there, I don't mean to sound harsh or inconsiderate, but dude, no. The reason why I was against it, because I'm thinking to myself as a future parent, I'm like, dude, I want my son to see and feel the Mike Trouts of the world and shake a Aaron Judge's hand.
Yeah.
Or all these young greats that are coming up in the game or are still around. You putting up a net, I feel like I'm in a zoo. Or not to say the players are an animal, but
no.
I'm infatuated.
That's the Space Jam scene with Jordan on the fucking with the weight on the ankle.
It's like, dude, I need to feel. It's all about connection, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's all about connection.
That's why I go there.
Like, now you're taking that away from me by putting this net up, and it's like, dude, like, now the one thing that
you gotta go.
That gravitated me towards the game. That gravitated me towards the game. Now you're taking it away because you have this fucking net there, and now the player can't interact with the fans and shake their hand and get a baseball and have that 1 or 2 minute conversation with your kids, or take a quick selfie, take a quick picture, because now you got the net up. Like, bro, it's bad enough these games are already expensive. It's bad enough jerseys are $100 a pop. It's bad enough a fucking burger is $20.
Hot dog is $22.
Like, bro, the one thing that we had left to where you can connect a player to this next generation
was actually seeing
them and feeling them.
Yeah.
Now you put up a net.
Now you take away the ambiance of the fact. You take away what we come for. Yeah, I tell you, I look forward. We're gonna cut this because he's leaving.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing this podcast with you next Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Your homework this weekend, get your shit. Next Saturday, this is yours.
Yeah.
We start your shit. Thank you. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the insight.
I really appreciate
you
that.
give
man.
me
You
something to
definitely-
look forward to and do homework on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
this is definitely a springboard, and I appreciate Jay connecting me with you, man. And I'm so appreciative, man.
nah, let's
taking the
get it.
time out.
Let's work.
I'm ready to go.
I know you are. I know you are. I think this proves it. You see what it is now, right?
Yeah. And I think that's all I needed, man, was to just do it. And I think this is a testament to anything in life. Like, and I'll use me as an example. I think when you're constantly thinking like, damn, is this the right time? It's never the right time.
No.
Do it.
Just do it. You can't time it when it's right.
Yeah.
You can't time it
Learn
when
as
it's
you
right.
go, and that's anything that you do in life, man. You can't learn or you can't become great unless you do it.
You only fail when you don't start, or when you stop.
Exactly.
That's the only time you fail.
Exactly.
You can't fail in learning.
Exactly.
You can't.
Yep.
And with that, yo, I'm out of here.
Yes,
It's your boy, okay? Everything is okay. I have my man Ro in the building. Nova was in the cut, busting ass on the video games. Look forward to his podcast. He coming out. He has a sports podcast coming out. It's gonna be amazing. I'm producing it for him. Yeah, as you see, his encyclopedia is off the wall with the sports shit. I'm sitting here like, but I fucking love it. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great weekend. Everybody have a good
Just give
Saturday.
it up. Everything is okay, even when I'm not. Time to bring it to the table.